Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
What would they say in Game of Thrones as a greeting besides hi? Was there like a, you know how like back, you know what I mean? 7 blessings. No.
7.
Is that something?
I feel
like that's like a goodbye, like, you know, the 7 gods or whatever.
I feel like they would just, there's no greetings.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm like Bran in this situation where it's like, we don't have time.
we don't have time. Winter is here.
Winter is outside the gates.
Death is everywhere.
Oh,
all of the
okay.
freaking BuzzFeed me.
You
Okay,
guys.
also, wait, first.
Oh, what?
This is
Can I Just Say One Thing podcast?
Yes.
/ Game of Thrones podcast
Yep.
for the next 4 weeks.
Yes.
5. 4.
all the weeks.
Well,
every week for the rest of my life.
4 eps left.
4 episodes are left. Yeah.
And we're kind of discussing 2
Yeah.
today. Real quick.
Yeah. Also, that's Demi.
Hi. That
I'm
is
Jess.
Jess.
Hi. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, last week we recorded and we hadn't even watched.
Yes, we were recording before
Yes.
the episode.
Yeah.
Then we watched the episode.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Season 8. We are now recording post episode 2.
Yeah. So we've got some tea to spill.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. What were your real thoughts on this
Last night?
Yeah, last night's episode.
Okay. I'm having a hard time with people who are saying they aren't liking the pace.
Why? I mean, like, why aren't they liking? What are they saying?
I think that people are like, we only have 6 episodes left. Like, we need to get into the bloodbath. People need to start dying. We've got wars to fight. Blah, blah, blah. Very true. But there are things and there are relationships where after next week, will no
Half the
longer
people are gonna be dead.
Exactly. Like there will
If not
no
more than
longer
half.
be those relationships.
Right.
So I do want to see a random group of my favorite characters huddled around a fire and Podrick singing to them.
I want Podrick to sing to me every night. Okay, also, when did he become such a bae?
What? The what?
Okay, that little bit of stubble. I was like,
Truly.
hey,
I was
Pod,
like, I'm sorry.
you could rock my world too.
You are fighting and everybody's like looking at you. Like
Can you
he's like
believe?
swinging. He was like swinging the sword around. Like, I'm so bored. Like, give me someone fun to fight. And I was like, it's me.
It's me.
fight
But like,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like with your dick.
No thanks.
No, it's so gross though.
No, keep it in the armor.
Yeah, keep it there. Keep it there. But also sing to me though. You can sing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so that's my beef. Okay, I will tell you one thing. I'm just not buying. Sorry, I'm not picking up when they're putting down is John and Danny. I don't buy it.
What? Like their love for each
I
other?
don't see the love.
I don't see the love, to be
believe
honest.
it.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I think.
You want to know why I don't really see the love?
Why?
Also because like I've watched so many interviews with them and they're like besties in
Totally.
real life, and I don't see the sexual
But
chemistry.
yes, even
you know?
yes, the characters. I'm just like, you're not. There's better things that I'd rather you put this energy into. Flying off into the sunset on 2 separate dragons and going to a cheesy ass waterfall. Like,
I didn't like the. I don't. The waterfall scene was like I felt like it could have just been
not that.
not that. It
Yeah.
couldn't have. It didn't need to happen.
I
guess.
was down for them to go and fly off into the middle of nowhere to discuss battle tactics.
totally discuss how you're gonna defeat the
The
Whites.
White Walkers, yeah.
Yes.
Like, why aren't you currently flying over the Whites and blowing fire on them?
But
Drop bombs
honestly,
on the ass.
But Demetra, like honestly, like why not start taking them out from behind? Okay, the
Maybe
White
they'll do it.
Army, maybe hopefully, but the
Yes.
White Army is so huge. Like, why not start taking them out by flying off to the side where
Flank
all
'em.
of the flank them, and not all of the like the Night King's there, and not all of his little
Yeah.
minions
Yep.
are in. They're probably all in the front, like heading it because it doesn't seem like they're. I mean, obviously they're smart. The Night King is,
But there's
but
like
it's probably all the Whites that are in the back.
thousands.
I know. They should have been freaking doing that.
maybe they will.
I guess.
But also, they have an ice dragon, and like, who knows what that'll do
True.
to a real dragon?
True.
I wonder.
I mean, we'll see.
I'm curious to see, like, has there ever been a time where a person, an alive person, has seen someone that they know become a White Walker, and the White Walker's reaction? You know what I mean? So, like, for example, say John. I'm just using him because
Right,
he's so
exactly.
huge. But
Yeah.
like, say John becomes a White Walker.
Right.
If he sees Sansa, is there any bit of himself?
I don't think so.
So he would just kill her and I don't care?
So. Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if the dragon sees his brother dragons.
No, I don't think. I think it's just,
They're done.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I know. I would think so. Because I feel like that has happened where somebody's become a white.
I don't remember.
It wasn't in the first episode or anything like that at all? Or maybe it was
the White Walkers attacked the knights. Or,
the
Watchmen.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
The crows.
The crows, yeah. But they just killed them. They didn't know them.
Right.
So.
I feel like it's happened. I feel like I need to rewatch it again.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also, how I was, looking at all these freaking
theories
posts
and
stuff,
yeah.
And how so many times in the episode, last night, episode 2, that they mentioned
my God.
the crypts being the
Why
safest
was
place.
that not the title of the show? The crypts are safe.
And it's just like,
no, they're not.
So this is what I wanted to tell you about. I don't know if you saw. So it said, you mean you thought the Red Wedding was bad? It was probably nothing on what this will be. Me after watching the preview for episode 3, and it's the Titanic. It's the musicians at the Titanic just staying behind and playing the ominous music. Next Sunday is gonna be tough, is what it says.
Love that song.
I know you do. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And can you please send me that?
And this one says leaked photo of Winterfell next week, and it's SpongeBob with all of surrounded.
Oh, that's from the colorful patties.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send this to you. Oh shoot, I just lost it. But yeah, I truly think everybody's gonna be dead.
Okay, my brother said that Bran is dying next week.
You think so?
No, I don't.
I don't think so. I mean, why did he say that?
He said, well, in that one preview, his wheelchair was broken.
Yeah, but
I was like,
dead.
Like, then that means that every character is dead because
Jaime's hand was there.
Tyrion's hand of the king or queen, I guess.
Yeah.
Jon's sword.
Arya's needle.
There was Daenerys or Cersei's chains.
I thought it was Daenerys.
Was it Daenerys' change? Her loose change from her pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, just stuff like that.
So what then? Cersei. There was nothing of Cersei's.
Yeah, she wins, I guess.
So okay, swear on my life, if Cersei takes the throne,
will you throw things?
The thought of that being true.
I see rage happening through your eyes. Like, I could see fire.
My arms have chills thinking of that. I am livid internally screaming.
Don't think about it.
But think about it.
Don't want to.
No, try. Like, what if we watched this entire show?
And then she actually ends up winning.
Cersei.
It would be kind of funny, though. I'd just be, awkwardly laughing at the end of the series.
Yeah, just I'd be like that one picture, like that dog that's sitting with a house all on fire. Yeah. He's like, this is fine.
It's fine. Also,
no, it's not fine.
Well, I thought George R.R. Martin said the whole point of Game of Thrones is to unite Dany and Jon Snow. I thought he had said that. This whole thing was to get them together. I mean, I think it might have just been maybe for the war, but I think this is a big deal that they're together.
Okay, so. Can we talk about what we were texting about today about George R. Martin being a freaking feminist?
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Also,
I realized
Tormund in this last episode. The feminist of my dreams.
I had a weird dream, you guys, and that's all I'm saying about it, but it was weird, and thanks a lot, Tormund.
Thanks a lot, Tormund, for your story.
Awkward. He's a huge feminist, and I wanted to say it when we were watching it, but I didn't want to get into a discussion about it.
Right.
But it just dawned on me that, the people that are in charge right now and the people that are contending for the throne, besides Jon, are all women. And the advisors are men, and the people with, battle experience are men, and they're kind of, giving their insight. Except for Brienne.
My knight
of the Seven Kingdoms. But it's just so freaking cool to me that I hadn't even thought about it.
They're not even making it weird until Daenerys yesterday said we've both been like ruling over people when, you know, women may not be the best choice or may not be the first choice or whatever. Right. And I didn't even like think about it.
I didn't think of it either, but then I was like, oh my God. Okay, Yara. Mm-hmm. Yara is in charge of the Iron Islands right now. Like, hopefully she like flips a Yui on the boat and like cuts Euron's throat and just like goodbye. Yeah,
no
I'm
longer
leaving.
A problem.
And then Lyanna Mormont, my idol,
my real queen.
She is my queen. I love and respect Lyanna so much. I'm just like, do whatever you want.
Did you see my story from what she
said? She's in that IRL.
She is truly that. She's truly that. I thought I still had it, but it's gone now.
We'll go on E.
Duh,
Jess. I keep wanting to call you your full name.
Don't you ever.
I know. I just keep wanting to.
Don't.
But what if I just do and you like it?
No, I won't. I won't
One
like
time?
it. Nope.
Once a day?
No.
Once a month?
Maybe. How will we keep track? I'll like just get it out of my mind that it never happened.
You don't even have to respond.
I'd be like,
yeah. Do like the ultimate eye roll. That is so good. That is pen 15 shining through.
Shining through. So Bella Ramsey is the girl that plays Lyanna Mormont. And then she was quoted saying, I think the opportunity to stand up in front of a load of grown men and shame them is what she'll miss most from Game of Thrones.
Girl, same.
Same. I'm going to miss you doing that too.
I'm going to miss it.
Please don't die.
No, she might die.
She's probably going to die. Everybody's going to die.
Everybody's dead.
Everybody's a White Walker. Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
I'm not ready for that reality yet.
I can't picture it.
Yeah. Also, Demi and I are drinking water. We had a long weekend.
But it's flavored water. I made it with lemon and cucumber and mint. Mm-hmm. So delicious.
And it's delicious. Mm-hmm. Now, should we get into the book?
Yeah.
Because going off of very feminist forward.
Yes. Let's go to the polar opposite of that.
The very polar opposite. Which is Educated, a memoir by Tara Westover. Yeah. I also watched an interview with her today. Mm-hmm. Was it like CBS? It was with Hoda. Hoda?
Oh, Good Morning America.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. And I think my mom loves who it was. Them. And I get also being diplomatic about not talking shit about the Mormon religion, and also like.
But you wrote about it.
You wrote about it, and she keeps like in another interview too. She was saying like I didn't want the focus to be on that because I'm not Mormon anymore, but like I have warm feelings toward it, and I'm like, but do you?
I know, and why do you want to protect it?
Why do you want to? I think her point was like she doesn't want it to just be like
that's what she's contributing to society or something.
And also like she doesn't want people's already perceptions and biases against a certain religion to like be amplified, yeah.
But okay, how are you amplifying it if you're just speaking the truth and your own personal experience as a woman in this cult-like religion?
Right. Yeah,
how is that?
With your family.
You're not embellishing.
Right.
You're literally just sharing your experiences, and I think that's the difference between whatever she's scared of. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right though. That's for sure. All right. So where we left off, it talks about Tara questioning polygamy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was her friend's name? Josh.
I will never forget him.
It's like he really didn't want to agree with it too. He didn't want to. I felt my take on it was that he was trying to kind of see how she was going to react to like asking her, "What are your thoughts on polygamy?" And it's like he was like almost waiting to like be like, like, do I agree with it too, or do I?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, we're talking. Oh, you're sorry.
Not that guy.
Okay,
not the asshole.
Then not Josh.
No.
I'm thinking of when her male friend said that. Women don't pursue the same things as men because they're less than. Cool.
Right. Yeah.
No. Okay, that is like Dean or something like that. David. No. Drew.
Okay, that sounds right. That does sound right. Oh no.
Cool.
An evening with my friend Mark.
That's what I
said. They're the same name. That's exactly spelled different. That's just just like Masandi and Melisandre.
Exactly. Full circle. We're back.
Game of Thrones. So it seemed like he was like asking like, what are your thoughts on, polygamy, many women struggle with their faith after they learned about polygamy. My mother did. I don't think she could ever understand it. And then Tara's like, I never understood it either.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he wanted to agree, but yet his inner faith was really like
being tested.
Yeah, like this tug of war. And
yeah.
that's the whole thing, I think, with Tara, is that her inner faith all of the time is being tested.
Constant. Okay, this entire segment that we read, that is the premise of it.
Yeah.
Like, that is the foundation of what we are talking about, like,
Absolutely.
all day today.
Which is why she ends up having mental breaks.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. You know, like, I know plenty of people that have been there in other religions that have mental breaks and have a hard time, like, coming to terms with certain things. And some people leave and some people don't.
Right.
You know, and
yeah, you're either all the way in or all the way out.
Exactly.
But I feel like she is all the way out, and she's only doing it because she doesn't even know the other options.
And she also doesn't want to lose her family. That's all she's ever known.
All she cares about is her family, and I can't even understand why.
Yep.
That's the whole time I'm doing this. I'm just like, even in her writing, like, she just is so depressed and constantly disappointed by her family and let down by her parents. And the whole time I'm just like, stop going back to Buck's Peak. Just stop.
Stop.
You're not getting a single thing. Even I love my mom and dad, and like when I go home, like I feel like my bucket is filled and I get to go home and like, you know, whatever. She doesn't even get that there. She gets kicked when she's down, when she's home, and she's just raked across the coals for she's never good enough for them.
Ever. Yep, and she never will be. I mean, she's not living by their strictest code.
Right.
She's, you know, and it was just driving, and I was trying not to judge her, but I also was just like, just stop. Like, so many of my emotions were like, stop going back. Stop talking to Sean. Stop doing, like.
That's, oh my God.
And it's just like, at the same time, one, she's a victim, so like, I have to try to remember that. But just listening and reading it, I'm just like, but I also just struggle with it.
I know.
Because it was just so infuriating to see it happen.
It probably is like a thing of that feeling of home. Like, you get to be your most like authentic self in Buck's Peak because that's all she knew.
Right.
And it's she probably has this like persona that she fills in Cambridge.
Right.
And when she goes home, it's like she can shed that layer, be herself, but also be on edge the whole time.
Right. Because she's still not good enough. She's
never.
like, it's like she doesn't feel good enough wherever she is.
No matter where she is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the exact feeling I was having the whole time. Like, just, she sets these standards for herself, and it's just like unobtainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like not realistic, one, but also it's like it's okay to also flounder. Like, that's also your life. Like, that can be people's lives. It's okay that you don't always know what to do in a situation. Yes. It's okay that you're stressed. You know, you don't have to always have it together, because nobody ever has it together, no matter how much they look like they do.
No.
You know? Also, can we talk about the word purity really quickly?
Sure.
Because so in the Mormon religion, girls become women at age 12, and that's when they introduce the word purity.
I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. All I need is time, a moment that is mine,
while I'm in between. I think so.
So yeah, purity.
And also Crossroads with Britney Spears.
Who is Free Britney? # Free Britney.
Always.
No, do you know?
No, what do you mean? Oh, she went in...
Against her will.
She went against her will?
Her dad has her, like, locked in an institution.
Oh, wait, what? I didn't know it was against her will.
That's what everybody's saying. I don't know.
It's
true.
Don't spread rumors.
Everybody's like, # Free Britney. Like, they think that she can't leave on her own.
Well, I don't like that.
No. I don't either.
I mean, unless,
it's
like,
really weird.
Unless she's suicidal.
Yeah.
But we don't know that.
No,
I know nothing. So
I know nothing.
I cannot have a...
It's just what I saw.
I can't have an opinion, but, like, that's...
Scary.
So scary.
Okay, purity,
sorry. Okay, purity. No, that's it. I was just like, I just don't like the word to me. I mean, just sexualizing women and girls so much, and just, it's so opposite of how we started this episode talking about Game of Thrones, and it's just like, It's just, it drives me insane that it has to be this like, oh, be chaste and your little flower
your
that
little
could
dainty flower who has
welt.
no thoughts other than like feed your family and
work in the kitchen
and be in the kitchen with your oils. Oh, my God. That was my favorite thing in this whole freaking book, that her dad was like, your mother's a healer and your mom is with the oils and the chakras and the blah, blah, blah. And that's woman's work. Second, that shit starts making money. Guess whose business it is? Dear old dad's.
Of course.
You asshole. Yes.
Such an asshole.
Ugh.
I also put a note here that says, this whole thing also reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale.
Totally.
When he kept saying, because he also kept saying, like, it's God's will, it's all this stuff, and it's just like, blessed be the fruit.
When does that
May the
come
Lord
on again?
Open. I don't know. Probably this year, I would assume. Oh my God. I'm still like the first chapter of this section. Because
oh God. Okay, let's blow through this.
Let's go. Okay. Some points that I saw. Dad thinks Jews started World War II, which is ridiculous. Yes. He also thinks Jews are communists. Dad's an idiot.
And Martin Luther King.
Yeah, and Martin. Oh, that's what it is. Martin Luther King. More importantly, Tara. It's just like, no.
She's like, sure. Get out of my dorm.
Yeah, whatever you say, Dad, but not anything that you say.
No.
She won a scholarship to Cambridge. No big deal. This is on top of her already going to Cambridge. Parents don't even come to the award dinner.
Because, I cannot.
Why was it? I can't remember.
Because when Tara told her dad,
basically to like fuck off, but not.
No, she said like, he said, if the Lord,
she wasn't willing to apologize. I know that,
she wasn't willing to apologize to him because he said, I have a few choice words for your professors, and they're whatever. I don't even remember how he phrased. He talks so weird, and she's like, no, you will not. And he's
you're not
like,
tell my professors
if I am,
if like the Lord's speaking through me, and I
exactly,
and I have something to say,
Lord, I'm doing it, and she says, no, you will not.
Yeah.
And so then he takes that and is like, okay,
I guess I'm not going to your
I'm not.
dinner.
Yeah, I'm not going, and like
makes it about him.
Of course, because every detail and every aspect of her life is actually about her dad.
You want to know what makes me sad too? Is that like everything, one, but two, the fact that her mom sometimes goes back and forth, like sometimes like wants to be the good mom and like
barely.
She follows him with everything.
If you don't apologize to your father, then I'm not going either. Yeah. And she does that for everything. Single thing. It's the woman's husband. If he's not there, then it doesn't count or something. I don't know. She just talks shit.
It's so horrible.
Yeah, so then she's like, fine, I'm sorry, which sucks. I hate when you...
and it's like the same thing that happens with Sean. She always has to apologize.
Oh, sorry. No. I was like thinking it in my head, and I was like, ooh, that works for her brother too, because like when...
It's like keeping the peace.
Yes, you're just making sure that your arm doesn't get broken in a parking lot, and you're apologizing when
or you're not
nothing
ostracized from your family by your dad.
Exactly, when actually nothing is your own fault.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
So she ends up going to Cambridge. Her dad was worried about the end days and like if she's across the ocean, then he won't be able to save her. And I'm like, don't worry.
Yeah, we're fine.
It'll be fine. And if the end days are coming, everybody's dying. Don't think it's not.
Yeah.
Tara called mom, and I can't remember what the reason why she called her, but she called her, and I think she was like just not feeling good or something like that. And mom started muscle testing, and she's like, from across,
I can send you the energy
from England to Idaho. She's like, oh, your muscle, like your chakra's out of line. Let me adjust your sister Audrey's chakra, and
I
the
can
energy.
Send the energy. I can transfer the energy.
And
then Tara was like, is it like travels by the speed of sound, or is there going to be a layover in Dallas, or like what?
But like honestly,
like truly, like what are you talking about?
Honestly, I want you to explain how am I gonna instantly feel it, or like
does it take some time? Mom is just off her rocker.
Mom's next level. Oh, I put barf after that.
Yeah, no, I mean sums it up nicely, because just what?
I'm very excited for her though, because she had her first coffee with
classmates.
I know, because Mormons aren't allowed to have caffeine.
I know, and wine,
chocolate, wine, and all of that stuff. And I'm just like, you Get it? Girl, be rebellious.
And then that was her first time, like, hearing her classmates talk about feminism in a positive way and not in a degrading way. Or, like, I just thought it was really interesting how she said that, like, whenever feminism was brought up at Brigham Young, that was the end of the argument, and
it's
I
like,
had
don't
lost.
Be a feminist.
Yeah,
like it was bad. It was a negative thing to be a feminist, which is like even at a university, but it is rooted in religion, so it's just that one that views women less than. So, is this when Sean beats his wife Emily and leaves her out in the cold? Because that's how it's in chapter 30.
So she goes home for winter break.
Right.
So she finishes her winter semester at Cambridge, goes home to Bucks Peak.
Realizes that her dad's the best funded lunatic in the Mountain West because they've added on to the house because the mom's business is doing great.
No, the dad's business.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's
so sorry because of course it's the man's business.
Women don't know how to count numbers. They can't deal with
they can't
money.
Do anything. Nope.
They are stupid.
They are nothing, but everything.
But everything to me. Okay.
I think Liana Mormont needs to go and serve some tea to Dad Westover.
Yeah, goodbye.
Okay, anyway. So goes back.
So she goes back and she's there and she's just like, what is this chapel doing in this house? But okay, fine. And they're all hanging out one night. And then Emily, Sean's wife, bursts through the door, crying, sobbing hysterically. And they're there
Is she barefoot too?
She's barefoot, doesn't have a coat. It's like in the negatives. Are they in Idaho or Ohio? I always get it. Idaho. Okay. So it's in the negatives. It's freezing. She's sobbing. And she said that she went to the grocery store that day. And then Sean came home and was going through the groceries and said that she had gotten the wrong type of crackers for their son, Peter. Peter?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sure. And he is very weak because he was born preemie. He was
just
born
over
1 pound. And how could she expect him to get strong if you don't buy him the right crackers? And he literally physically threw her into a snowbank and locked the trailer door.
Yep.
And she pounded and screamed. She didn't have shoes on. She didn't have a coat on. So she hauled ass to the parents' house.
Yep.
I just...
And they wait around for hours to see if he even shows up to like apologize.
And Tara's sitting there and watching the clock just tick, tick, tick.
Like, show up, Sean. Show up.
Show up. And he truly doesn't care. And so this is what's confusing to me about about the parents and Sean and their relationship. So do they just choose to ignore it? Because how do you have that type of abuse so obvious, and then later on your daughters come to you?
Both daughters
come to you and speak this truth.
Also,
of like,
their son Tyler comes and says that he was also abused by the brother too. Right.
So and what was so crazy about that whole experience about her being thrown in the snow was that while Emily was sitting there with the parents and the mom was crying and they were holding hands and like talking through it, Tara was like, this has clearly been done before.
Oh, this is something
they all have their parts in this routine.
This is not a new thing. This isn't the first time that it's happened.
No.
This is the first time I'm just seeing it happen.
And then he said, Tara's dad says to Sean on the phone, come get your wife.
Yep.
And then he sits Sean down with Emily and Tara goes to bed. And like a few hours later, her mom comes downstairs and says, can Emily borrow a coat? Sean's taking her home. And then Tara's like,
should
question
she go
mark?
with him?
Question mark, what's going on? She's like, he was very stern when he talked to them. Talking about her dad.
Yeah, please, whatever. Also, this just shows you too the victim part of it, like Emily being such a victim, because when she sees Sean come through the door, she clings to him. Yeah. And like, oh, he finally came. Like, and it's just like, he's so
sick.
Evil. He's so
sick.
evil. Like, truly, has probably murdered people.
He murders his dog.
Yeah, he murders
Diego.
Diego.
That was really sad.
And so another thing happens after this whole situation with Sean. In chapter 31, Tara is still at home and Audrey, her sister, is over, and her daughter's there with her, Audrey's daughter. And Tara says,
they're like playing with a toy.
Exactly. And she says something to the effect where it's like,
what Sean said.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't act like an adult,
if you want to act like a child, I'm going to treat you like one.
And it's exactly what Sean used to say
to Tara.
Audrey just like looked at her, was so scared, like kind of scared. It seemed like I would think like dumbfounded,
like just taken back to that scary place of that abuse from your own brother.
Yep. And Audrey's like, Sean used to say that.
Yep.
And Tara's like, I wish I would have never said it. She immediately regretted it. She says too.
There's just like no control over that.
It's so sad.
It's gross.
It's so gross. And then right after that, Audrey emails Tara. And is this the time when they go to Rome then?
Tara drinks wine, back to Cambridge.
Makes friends. Yeah.
She goes back to Cambridge, and then they finish another semester, and it's like spring break. And then a friend at Cambridge invites her to go to his house in Rome. So she goes to Rome. How cool is that?
Okay.
Be right there.
Yeah, on my way. I'm actually
already there.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that invite.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm here. I'm just happy I'm not going to be homeless when I'm here. Because now your house is here. My dream.
Yeah, she goes to Rome, has the most incredible time, and then goes back to school and checks her email, and there's an email from Audrey.
Yep, exactly. And she says that she's so sorry that I must have figured that Sean was doing the same things to you as he did to me. I really want to confront our parents and tell them what happened with Sean.
Right.
And will you be on my side? And Tara's like, just wait till I get there. And then we can do it together.
Please don't jump the gun on this.
Yeah, but she does. Audrey does. Confronts them. But Tara was willing to stand by her side. That happened. Mother wrote Tara, and it was just like, Audrey told me all this stuff. You know, I'm so sorry. Also, your dad's bipolar, and she uses the words.
Oh, yeah.
Too. And like,
but those are the words that Tara explained to her mom.
But she never said the word empower, or she never said the word bipolar. She just said that she figured that her mom was just mirroring her, like, just what she would have said. Because she said that she, like, in the very last pages, it was like, I didn't actually use that word, but I could tell that my mom was doing the same thing she did with dad, which was just basically make him feel like he's being heard, you know what I mean? So, like, she was saying just what I wanted to hear. Validating. Cool. Exactly. But at this moment in time, Tara hearing all of this stuff from her mom makes her feel like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not alone.
Right.
I love my mom so much. Believed, like, I'm going to be believed. I feel empowered by this.
Right.
And it's just, and her mom just proves to let them down.
Yeah.
And also Audrey, which is also just maybe her survivalist in her, is like, Audrey recants that Sean does all of this stuff.
But I think she's so scared because she lives so close.
Yeah, this is her.
And Sean's threatening
This is her trying to survive in the family.
Yes.
Because she lives there. She's not escaped from... She doesn't get to go to Cambridge.
Nope.
She doesn't get a fellowship to Harvard like Tara does. She is stuck in Idaho with her kids in a very, very abusive and toxic environment.
Yep.
So what do you do?
Yep.
You know? And she also strongly believes in the faith, the Mormon faith. Chapter 32 is when Grandma died. Grandma down the hill died, which was Dad's mom.
Yes, and that that's the one that we liked, right?
Grandma in town is the one that was like... she doesn't really talk about it that much, except for that I know she dies too. But yeah, this is the one that would go to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because she died of... She also had Alzheimer's too. But
she recognized Tara when she went to see her.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, then maybe it was the other one that had Alzheimer's. Maybe it was the grandma in town that had Alzheimer's.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But the grandma does die, and then the junkyard starts going to hell. Because she was the one that, like, kind of not ran it, but she, like, stayed on top of her son and was just like, you can't just have your junk all over the land. And he does. Yeah. And he did.
He can just flounder for all I care. You know what I mean? Truly. He's so, he's also very, like you said, neglectful. And it's so interesting, like, watching interviews with Tara, too, because she's talking about, like, I know my parents loved us, and I know that they cared, and they tried, and I'm like, but did they? Didn't. But did they? Because...
But they truly did not.
And I know that you do love your family. I get it. Family's very, very complicated, as we see in Game of Thrones. So, like, and I'm sorry, but Sansa says that too. Like, families are but like, this really truly does show the complexities of real life family.
I think they're survivalists, and they're not like, I love you, like, I'm gonna protect you. It's about
it's not survivalists to protect their children. It's
okay, I'm gonna protect us as opposed to I will protect you individually.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my parents, our parents were very like, we want what's best for you. Mm-hmm. We're going to protect you. We know what the future looks like, and we're going to try and like show you the way.
Right.
Tara's life was absolute chaos from the get-go because any day the world is going to be ending.
Yeah.
So
everybody's after us. The feds are after us.
Can you imagine living in that chaos?
Absolutely not.
Oh, it's so stressful.
Yeah, it's very stressful. Mom seems over dad. Why did I say that? Because it says dad's a piece of shit. Women's work, because he says women's work. Oh, mom like snaps at him.
Oh, they get into a huge fight.
And she's like basically like,
oh, because he dies. So, sorry, grandma dies. Dad's all depressed.
Yeah.
And he won't get out of bed, and she is like cooking dinner for the family and running around the house and doing the oil business.
This business that has like lots of people working there.
Yes. So she's running the show in her personal life and work life, and then is also like being expected to like cook dinner and prepare this funeral and blah blah blah. And she's like, you need to sign this or sign all these thank you letters to send for like coming to the funeral or something like that.
Right.
And he's like, that's women's work. I'm not doing that.
Right.
And she flips out. Sorry, I just burped.
Then she says, then you should do the husband's work.
Ooh. Burn.
Which means like take care of the family and provide and not have to depend on me. Oh man, I hate that I didn't look at my book when we were talking about certain things.
Like what?
Like when we were talking about how Tara's mom emailed her and she said, you were my child, I should have protected you. And it's just like, no wonder why Tara's so messed up from it, because like she's hearing all these nice things that she needed to hear, and then her mom
or actions that should have been done.
Anyway,
sorry. I'm sorry. I do not get how her mother didn't know the abuse was happening.
She did. She just turned a blind eye. And she would, like...
That's also abuse.
It is abuse. It's neglect.
That's neglect.
Child neglect. One child is truly beating on the other child, and you're in the kitchen, and you're hearing it all happen, and you're hoping it just stops.
Yeah.
Is what she was doing.
Truly.
It even says that. Like, you know what I mean?
It's kind of gross.
It's disgusting. Sorry, just had to say that. Anyway, dad's work. Husband's work. Get your shit together. If you're gonna be a religious man of the house, maybe you should live up to that. I guess
yet again.
Yeah,
but that's like what we say every single.
That's
time.
what you've like pointed out, and I'm just like yes. Like he doesn't really. He only follows what's convenient for him.
Only
like
when
you
it's
said.
applicable to what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after what did we just talk about anyway? It was
we had a brief intermission.
Yeah. Oh, this is after her grandma died, and mom seems over it.
And they're like fighting or whatever, and then they're fine.
The dad and mom are, they got over it or whatever. So after grandma dies, Tara's staying in Idaho for a week, but she has to go back to school. And this is when Audrey's like, please stay, I need you.
Right.
And then Sean.
Oh my God. Sean,
just the star of the book, essentially, but
basically.
I guess the villain of the book, you should say.
Yeah.
More so than dad. Asks Tara, like, he seems kind of nice right now. Like, they kind of are on,
very chill.
And he's like, hey, you want to go for a drive? Tara says yes, which for me, I'd be like, never in my life. I will never be alone in a room with you ever again.
No.
But again, he seems like he's on a high right now. And he starts venting to Tara.
Terrifying.
Yeah. About how, he's like, you talk to Audrey much? And she's like, not really. She kind of like sees that it's
she senses it.
Oh, she's like getting frightened. He seemed to relax. Then he said, Audrey's a lying piece of shit. I looked away, fixing my eyes on the church spire, visible against the light from the stars. I'd put a bullet in her head, but I don't want to waste a good bullet on a worthless bitch.
Okay.
Life-threatening statements are made.
Right. Yep. Clearly.
And yet her dad needs proof.
Okay.
That Sean is a piece of shit.
We're at the proof,
Yep, we're at the proof. Go for it.
No, it's so typical dominant male.
Oh, absolutely.
Where is your proof that your husband punched you in the face? This is just like Lorena.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, the proof is my shattered face.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The burns on my arms
Mm-hmm. And when he asks for proof,
and my own goddamn statement, because I'm a human being who's telling you of the abuse I'm enduring.
And also your other daughter has told you of the abuse. And she's like, I do have, she's like, I have she's like, I have like my journals. He's like, well, show me them. And she's like, well, I don't have them with me. She has them at home, but like also I wouldn't give that stuff up too, because he'd probably burn them.
Yep.
You know?
Why she was smart. That? She was smart very to like not
well, I don't actually have them here, you know, because don't give over your proof, because if you have to testify or have to have like some type
evidence,
of thing, at any point in your future, which doesn't come to that, at least that we know of, maybe in the next few years, that's the only person that she seems to give a false name for, though.
Sean?
Yeah, Sean, which I'm just like, who are you? You know?
Who are you?
Oh, and this is when like mom backs down and doesn't stick next to Tara. Yep. Tara. So, are they at a church and this is when it happens? Is that what it is? No,
they're at their house.
Oh, I thought they were somewhere else.
Oh wait, are you still talking about Sean and Tara in the car?
I'm talking about Dad told me to sit and I did. Oh wait, let's see.
The chapel.
When she says that, when she actually tells her dad like, hey, I need to talk. Oh yeah. I'm going to bed. Oh, the chapel in the house. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, and I'm going to bed. I said, we'll talk about it tomorrow. When she says like, hey, Sean's been abusing me. And her dad's like, I told Sean what you said, he is coming. Dad called Sean to say, hey, your sister's saying shit about you, saying that you're abusive. You probably should come and let's
go hash it out right now.
Evil.
It's so dumb.
Yep.
They're just so fucking dumb.
And like you said, he knows that he's abusive. He sees it with his daughters. He's seen it with everybody. He's seen it with Sean's wife.
I just know that it is not a secret to anybody.
Right.
Okay, go on. Carry on.
Carry on. This is when he brings a knife covered in blood and drops it into Tara's lap. Yep. And she's like, well, I know that he didn't cut me with this. It's not my blood because he just handed it to me. He doesn't look cut. It's not his blood. Whose blood is this? Whose blood is it?
After he just threatened Audrey.
Yep, after he threatened Audrey.
In the car.
And then he says, if you're smart, Siddle Lister, you'll use this on yourself because it will be better than what I'll do to you if you don't. And then her mom's like, that's uncalled for. But also, that's all she says. Like, what?
Like, hey, you watch your mouth.
And she basically goes into, like, survivalist mode with this. Like, she just is like, I think Dad misunderstood me. I don't know what you're saying. Like, that's not how
when you have 3 adults and one of them is an absolute psychopath, like, sitting across from you being like, okay, go ahead, explain yourself. Tell us all about the abuse you've endured from our son, who is getting messages from God and is a changed man and who we adore. Also, who abuses his wife, but like we're gonna not talk about that right now.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
It's just, it's so dysfunctional.
Yep, absolutely is.
Okay, so she goes back to Cambridge after this, right?
And this is when she has her break, essentially, right?
Well, no, because when is this when Sean calls her on the phone?
Yep.
Okay, so Sean
calls and like they're having a completely normal conversation. Yeah. They're talking for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden he says...
Yeah, you need to read it.
Oh, also, by the way, wait, backtrack real quick.
Oh, the knife.
We did mention it a little bit earlier. Yeah. They kill the dog. He kills his dog, Diego.
He kills his dog, Diego.
Out of rage.
It's just strictly rage.
Yeah. It wasn't the knife of a farmer or even a butcher. It was a knife of rage, is what she says. Oh, I can't.
He's just, like, he's just, what is it? What is the word building up? He's,
escalating?
Escalating.
He's very much escalating. Yeah. Yep. Sean called an hour later. His tone was casual. We talked for 20 minutes about Peter. And then he says, okay, so this is when he calls when she's back at Cambridge. I have a decision to make, and I'd like your advice. She goes, sure. I can't decide whether I should kill you myself or hire an assassin. It might be cheaper to hire someone when you figure out the cost of the flight. So she freaks out. She hangs up on him. He calls her back multiple times. Tara calls her parents, and her mom says, he didn't mean it. Anyway, he doesn't have the kind of money. And she's like, not the point. My own brother is threatening
kill me.
Either from himself or hiring somebody to do it.
They're so demented. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I think they are all some type of mental illness has plagued them all.
Yeah, and I think it's just like
and it's just gone downhill because they refuse to acknowledge it.
Anything. And this is when her dad's like, "Did you record this? Do you have proof? Did you record the conversation? Are you kidding me?"
No, he's not. No. That's the scariest part is he's actually dead serious. But okay, here's my thing.
Yeah.
What would he do if she did?
Yeah, he'd be like,
then
"Oh no."
What? Well, he wasn't serious. He
doesn't sound like he was serious.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the start of her family cutting
spiral,
her off.
Yeah.
And like her not talking with him and her spiral herself.
Yep.
And it was God's will that Audrey and Tara forgive Sean. That's what her dad said. And then Audrey throws Tara under the bus. And I mean, again, for her own, I think for herself. Like,
her like mental
to survive.
Protection,
Yeah. There's a word I'm trying to think of, and every time I keep saying survive and survivalist. Just for preservation.
Right.
Their own preservation.
Totally.
So during all this is when she gets the fellowship to Harvard from Cambridge, and this is where she's going to go work on her PhD and all that stuff. Tara talks to Charles, the guy that she first started dating.
Right.
The very first boyfriend that was like also in high school when she was 17.
Yeah, who was like, "You've got problems."
Yeah, you got problems. And she admitted to him that she didn't want to let her family go. Right. Which, like, who does? You know what I mean? It's a very sticky situation, but let them go. Bitch, let them go. I mean, bitch in a loving way. Yeah, they are not worth it. Oh, what? When her mom is defending Shauna, obviously. And she's on the phone with her. And this is still, like, when the whole thing happens. And she's telling, like, "Hey, Mom, Sean just... said he was going to kill me." And her mom's like, "You know that night where you confronted Sean and we were all there talking?" And she's like, "Tara, your anger that night was twice as dangerous as Sean has ever been." I want to say some really nasty words right now.
I know. They're just they're so not well.
No. No. Like you said, something's plagued them. Like the whole family. It's probably because they've never had medication. They're all on essential oils, and essential oils are great and everything. They smell amazing to diffuse. They don't cure the things. Nope.
She doesn't have the mental break until she's in Harvard. Oh wait, are we at Harvard?
Harvard?
Okay, we're at Harvard.
This is when. Okay, so yeah, we're at Harvard. She goes there
and her parents visit her.
Yep, her parents visit her exactly. Yeah, and this is when her dad's like,
"You have the devil.
You have the devil in you." And
So they come, her parents come to Harvard.
Which is like huge because her parents don't fly. The farthest they've ever gone is to Arizona.
Yeah. So this is a very big deal. And they're all staying in her dorm, which is the worst.
And they have like a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
go
they're
stay in a hotel, rich. Be adults.
Yes. But no, they don't.
No.
And so he's like, "I want to go." What's the place? It's some Mormon.
It's where Joseph saw the angel Moroni.
Right.
Like was told that, Mormon religion was this is true. This is the true way.
Okay. So he goes there and he's like having the best time. And she said it was like when they were taking pictures, it was because they actually wanted to capture a happy memory.
Yeah. That was at Niagara Falls.
Oh, that was Niagara? Oh, whoops, my bad.
So she was like trying to be like, what do I do here? This is when she touched the stone of like a church or something like that.
She wouldn't touch it.
She did touch it, but she felt nothing, she said.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
She's like, Dad was like thinking that if I touch this sacred stone, that, maybe it would get something in me. And then she's like, but I just felt cold stone underneath my hand.
Oh, yeah, my dad felt the Lord and I felt granite.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that's when they go to Niagara Falls, and he was never into taking pictures before, but he's like, take the picture,
capture everything. Yeah. So that was kind of a special moment for them, I guess.
But like their last super special moment
ever,
because her dad's like, I want to save you. So the priesthood, I have a friend that grew up Mormon. We have a friend that grew up Mormon, and we've talked about the priesthood, and it's something that only men can do. And she even mentions it in here. Only men can accept the priesthood. And it's basically like somebody giving you a blessing, which is like a pretty big deal within the church. And her dad was willing to give her the priesthood, which is, again, only men can do that for other men, but just to like save her. And she's just like, no.
I don't need to be saved.
Yeah, I'm not the one with a problem.
But then...
This is the break.
This is when it just kind of deteriorates because then her dad's like, I know that you have the devil inside you. I can, the second I stepped into your apartment, I felt his presence and I refuse to stay there if you're not going to accept our help. So we're out. And they left in 5 minutes. And what happened?
It's basically like she tries to still reach out to her.
She like spirals into a depression.
Oh, absolute mental break.
Yeah.
She stops working on her
dissertation
for her doctorate degree and starts just watching TV.
Binging.
Hours and hours, like full days. Truly though.
20, she said,
but also
like
not
24 hours straight.
24 hours. She watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer though, which I get, and that's why I got a D in my class. And I was a freshman in high school, so I was there with you.
Yeah.
The whole thing. She watches all these shows. She stays up nights and nights. She's sleepwoping
in the middle of the street.
Yeah, wakes up in the middle of the street. She's screaming. She's having. She doesn't realize it's a mental break because she's so obviously so in it.
Right.
It's something that it's not like hitting her, and even her advisor was like, "You don't have to do your doctorate degree. Like sometimes
you can just take a break.
You can just stop. You know."
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, that's
hard. I know. It's. I wish he would have, like, if he had known, which I don't know if he did, but would have just been like.
I don't think he did know.
Yeah, and just would have said like, you need to seek out some help right now. Like, postpone this and take care of yourself because wow.
Absolutely. And I really don't think he did, because I think if he realized the gravity of what was happening to her, he'd be like, we need to do something. This is when she's wondering if she's made a mistake. And she buys a flight to Idaho to try and...
she talking to...
Erin?
Yeah.
The ex-girlfriend of Sean?
Yes.
And...
Wait. No.
Yeah?
No. Tyler's wife.
Not yet. Tyler's wife?
No. Okay, well, I thought that's who you were talking about. But also the guy in...
Drew. That's Drew.
Drew!
You knew the name. You did know the name. It just wasn't the right
one.
time. Yeah. It is the right name, just not the right time. So she is dating a guy named Drew.
And he's in the army or military or
something. No, he studies like at Cambridge, and he's like traveling around doing stuff.
Why did I think he was in the military? And he speaks like...
He does speak Arabic, but he like goes to the Middle East. And she goes and visits him out there when she's like going to school and stuff like that too.
So he's not in the military.
No, he's not in the military. I think he's like an academic guy.
I totally made up a story for him then. Whoops. I like had a whole
You're like,
story.
I have a better story.
Yeah. Tara, don't tell the truth here.
Yeah, let me just say my own narrative.
So I did. So what's the truth?
I think he's just an academic guy, because he goes to Cambridge too, and they even get like a flat together in Paris when they study in Paris for a little while and all that stuff.
So cute.
So, can I just like live in Paris and like, have a flat there?
Surely.
You want to go with me?
Okay. Bye. No, not bye.
No.
We're going.
Bye to everybody else. And so she tells him that she wants to go back home, and he's like, "Don't do it. Don't go." And she's just like, "But I want to fix
this right.
I want to fix it." And this is when she like emails Erin, which was the ex-girlfriend of Sean, and she's like, "Yeah, I was abused too, and my grandfather even had to step in." And,
yes. And okay.
My cousin saw this, and her cousin later, recounts what happens when he runs into Tara. And but then Erin later on like says, "No, it didn't happen. Tara's crazy." Scared. I'm sure Sean's probably
terrifying.
Well, he probably went to her. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but he probably is
threatened.
Absolutely threatened.
Yeah.
I mean, he does that to everybody else.
Right.
So
right.
Why not do it? This is when she goes out there and
Tara goes to home, and her mom is like, "Oh my God, you're here. I'm gonna make biscuits." And so she goes into the kitchen and she's like, "Okay, I just have to send a quick email." And so
this is when she sees the email.
So yes,
with Erin, with the ex-girlfriend saying like, the mom was like...
Well, her deal was with Drew is he doesn't want her to go there, but she says, "I will email you every 2 hours and
just
keep
to
you updated
that
I'm
alive."
Okay. Yeah.
And while she goes to the computer, she sees this email that her mom has been communicating with Erin, and her mom's like, "Tara is lying. The devil is within her, essentially.
I like pray for her soul and stuff like that."
And Erin's like, "Oh yeah, I get it.
I see that.
Yeah. Again, like you said, like she's probably terrified.
Yeah.
Everybody's on Sean's side, and
of course.
So if she is another person talking against Sean,
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to believe her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Tara's like, this is a very unsafe situation.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go.
Get my journals because it has a lot of information. She said she had like 30 journals or something like that. She gets them. She's like, oh, Mom, I'll be right back.
I have an errand to run.
Yeah. And her mom like kind of senses that she's not going to come back. And she doesn't.
She doesn't. Yeah. Her dad gives her a hug and says, you know, I always love you, right? And she goes, yeah, but that's not the problem. That's never been the problem.
Oh, major.
I cannot even imagine how scary that is. Yep. And like how just isolating that must feel.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. I absolutely agree. And this is like, she ends up writing a letter to her dad later on. And basically she's like, I kind of regret the letter because it was very like anger filled and stuff like that. But before that happens, Tyler, her brother, calls her.
Right.
And was just like, oh my gosh, like tell me everything that happened. I mean, I was also abused by Sean. And Tara keeps having the nervous breaks. And he's like, don't worry, like I'm going to confront Mom and Dad now. And Tara's terrified that Tyler's going to turn on her.
Right.
But he never does. Mm-hmm. He sticks with her.
Tyler's her constant.
I know, which is beautiful because even I was worried. Like she kept like ramping it up in the book that he was going to turn on her. Right. And then when he didn't, I'm just like, thank you for being strong.
Right.
And being a good male figure too.
Totally.
You know, because obviously she's had a lot of horrible male figures.
Yeah.
She goes to therapy after that.
Oh, that's right.
Therapy. Yeah. And she's like, she starts going, she doesn't see how it works right away. After going every week, months after months, she's like, this was good for me. Right. I needed to work through this shit.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like significant all at once. It was just like slowly she recognized like, okay, I'm improving.
Yep. And she ends up getting her PhD after she defends it and everything. And after that, she's like, I need to go home. And I'm just like, stop going. And I even said, stop going home.
No, you
stop going home.
Need to go home.
I'm sure it's just sad because she has Tyler, but like, it's like losing your mom and dad is a lot.
I know.
It's a lot.
I know. So she goes.
Yep.
And she goes and visits
her grandpa
in town.
In town, I think.
Yeah. So she goes and I think she's like sitting there and wondering like, what do you think of me? And she'll never know and she'll never have time to show like who she really is to him. Like her mom has already explained who she is.
Exactly.
You know?
But he kind of like turns out to be a good guy. I mean, like he turns out to like understand because so her Aunt Angie
worked for the mom,
got fired from the mom, but also takes Tara under her wing and is kind of like her pseudo mom now, like a motherly aunt, I guess. Yeah. And at one point, Tara always emails her mom before she comes into town. It was like, I want to see you, but I don't want to see Dad.
Can you meet me in town?
Can you meet me? And Mom's always like, no, I'm never going to see you unless you want to see Dad too. And so they haven't seen each other. You know, they'll occasionally email. Even in the interview I watched today, she's like, sometimes we still email. It's not all the time. You know, it's just, you know, I try to keep in contact because I love my parents for all their flaws. But so she.
I wonder if her parents have read the book.
I don't know. Oh, I think at one point they did have a lawyer issue a statement saying Tara was extensively educated, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, okay, whatever. Like at home she had. But so she emails Angie. She wants to come home. She's still in England or something like that. She's like, I want to come home. And she was this close to like not coming home. And Angie's like, I'm so excited to see you.
Right.
I can't wait. Grandpa's actually going to miss church on Sunday in case you stop by, which is the grandpa in town. It's a big deal. Yeah, it's a huge deal that he's Mormon.
Right.
So you don't miss that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then after that, she kind of just.
She like almost drives home. Almost drives to like Bucks Peak or whatever, and like just doesn't.
Yeah.
She sees it off in the distance, I think, and is just like,
I need to leave this. Yeah. Yep. I need to leave this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, after when Grandma does die. Mm-hmm. Like the last time she sees all of her family together is at the funeral.
Yeah.
Audrey and Benjamin sitting in the back.
Yeah. She kind of like takes the role of her mom because they're not on speaking terms because they fired Angie.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically she says hi to some of her family. Sean arrived a few minutes before the service with Emily and Peter and a little girl I'd never met. It was the first time I had been in a room with him since that night he killed Diego. I was tense, but there was no need. He did not look at me once during the service. Good, don't look at her. Get out of here.
That's not your brother. That's a man. That's just some man.
It's some man.
It's not a brother.
The last few, I guess the last chapter, because the last chapter is like 2 pages long.
Right.
You could call this selfhood many things: transformation, metamorphosis, falsity, betrayal. I call it an education. Yeah.
That's cool.
And hope she's thriving still.
Yeah.
She's talking to, like, one of the interviews I watched, she was like, I do want to keep writing. I don't know if it'll be nonfiction. I don't know if I'll write fiction, you know, but I do want to keep doing my thing. But she's a freaking PhD.
I know.
Ugh. She was 27 when she earned her PhD.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the age I was when I earned my first PhD.
Totally.
So
I mean, I'm on my second now. Cool. I mean, my third. I mean, my fourth. I don't know what. I lost count. Lost count. Should we read a note or two? Yeah. Okay, so I still want Timmy to read notes, but she...
No, I just want to hear you.
So, do you remember a few weeks ago when I read the breakup note that I wrote to my first ever boyfriend?
Yes.
You remember what I told you what happened? He kissed my best friend, cheated on me with his ex-girlfriend on his birthday when I was supposed to hang out with him. Great. Cool. So I had a friend, I think I also mentioned this too. Do you ever feel like you wish that you could have like fixed friendships that you like kind of wish that you had? And
weren't we just talking about this?
Okay. I think on here. And this is one of the people that she always wrote me poems, and she's the one that told me about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all that stuff. Yeah. So she wrote me a poem after the breakup. She's like, a poem for you, smiley face, he. A boyfriend who's a big man whore, the things he does behind a closed door. A good friend who's not so bright, the things she does in broad daylight. I know you've been betrayed in the past, but my love for you will always last. Aww. It's the thought that counts. I love you.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
That's a good quote, or that's a good poem.
It is. Yeah. But I actually do have a lot of. I wonder if it's in this box. I have a lot of poems from her. I think I've mentioned her before in her poetry before. That she just was really good, and you
knew a lot of people that wrote poetry.
Yeah, I never did. Huh. So this letter is from my best friend from like middle school. I have a middle school note.
Yay.
And I didn't know I did.
Go.
Didn't know I did. I don't know what it says. I haven't proofread this.
Okay.
Ugh, hey Jessica.
Okay.
Hey Jessica. It hurts to say. My stomach hurts like crap. How's yours? Maybe it was the cheese stomach. How's yours? Maybe it was the cheeseburger. I have 35 minutes to write this note. I'm bored right now. I don't think Haley and Katie like me very much. Don't tell anybody this, but I'm mad Katie's going to join my soccer team. Ooh, this is some tea for the time. I don't know why. It just ticks me off. Maybe because I don't think she'll do a very good job.
Oh my god.
You know, like running and stuff. I have like just the basic thing. The basic thing.
You know, like moving your legs really fast? Yeah.
She's not gonna do well. I have a feeling she'll just talk. I have to get in shape this summer. I'm going to try and come here at school and run the track. Like, you're in 6th grade. Like, who cares? Also, I'm going to go to tons of soccer camps, my mom says. My mom says. I miss soccer so much. I just don't want Katie on my team. I'm sorry for being so annoying this morning.
Oh.
What'd she do? It seems like Brian doesn't like me anymore.
This is such a self-conscious note.
Yeah, so much. I hope not. I'm so glad no one's talking, especially Jacob. He's been bugging me so much lately. And Rashawn's been nice to me, so I'm grateful for that. I don't know who any of these people are. And it says, over, like, turn it over.
You better turn it over. Like, you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you.
Yeah, obviously. I'm so tired. Yawn, little face. Mm-hmm. I think Alex is annoyed by me. Another person. God. Okay. He's probably just trying to be nice to me, but deep down, he's probably annoyed.
I'm annoyed.
Yawn again. Sorry. Now I've got 25 minutes to write. I'm going to take a snooze. Snore. Continued. Okay, I'm back. I sort of slept for 5 minutes. Now I have 20 minutes to talk to you. I mean, write to you. I don't know why I'm so tired. I want to go home. Snore. Continued. Okay, I'm back. I have 10 minutes to write to you. I'm too tired to write. Oh shoot, what was it? Oh shoot, what did that mean? Okay, it says your BBBIBBB, but I think it was like best buds. It was like some like long thing that we came up with. Yeah. No idea what it meant. And then her name. It says PS. PWB. But she also puts, please write back. Like, she writes it out. P.S. Sorry I couldn't write my special borders for you. P.P.S. Yawn.
That is the most middle school note.
This is so middle school.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me. I hate everybody.
Yeah. Soccer, mom says.
Also, Katie sucks, I guess. So funny.
Oh, okay, you guys.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, we did it and we're done.
Also, tune in for more GOT talk.
Absolute.
All the GOTs.
Yep.
Everybody's going to be dead, so.
So we'll let you know who dies.
Yeah.
But you'll already know.
You'll know because you better be watching.
Or why wouldn't you be watching?
Why wouldn't you be watching?
Okay, guys.
Talk to you later.
Have a great day.
Love always.
Love always.